Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now if this is your first time here, hey, welcome. My name is Dianne and I am super excited that you found your way here. Okay you guys, this is going to be my recap of episode 2 for the challenge season 33, War of the Worlds. I have gone back to my audio videos because they are a lot more convenient and I can pretty much record these videos anywhere, which means I can get them out a lot faster to you guys. Life is happening right now and I have a lot of things going on. She's booked and busy, praise God. So I'm like on the go a lot. But if I do these audios, I can like stay on schedule and be able to get these little videos out to you guys a lot faster than I have been doing. So without any further procrastination, let's go ahead and get into this recap. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that. And also hit that notification button so you can start getting these notifications for when these videos come out. I love and appreciate you guys for the constant support as always. So now let's go ahead and get right on into this recap.
All of these detours, I cannot be sure if this is the right way, but I stay on pace. Yeah, I'm on my way. Tell them I'm on my way.
And the pier.
On my way, on my way, on
Wait
my
a
way.
damn minute.
I'm on my way. Tell them I'ma get this show.
Okay, so this episode starts off with Josh coming back into the house. I am so excited because like I've been saying, Josh is my #1 guy. So to have him back into the house, it's like, yay, like my ally is back. I'm excited. And I know how much he wants to play this game. Like we talked about it so much before we even came into the house. So I can only imagine how pumped he is right now. So he comes in and everyone is like showing him around the house. Natalie and Julia show him Alon's old room and old bed because that is now his new room and his new bed and his new roommates, right? So Josh goes back there. He's mixing and mingling. You know, I don't want to hog him. I want him to, you know, build up his social game and be able to talk to everybody. So I give him a hug and then I go on about my business. I go and find Paulie because I want to celebrate with Paulie. You know, a big brother person has come back into the game. This is great for us. So in the midst of me trying to celebrate with Paulie, Kara's like, great, that means she's, what'd she say? Oh, great, that means now she's off limits. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, Amanda, now she's attached to Big Brother, so now she can't be touched because she's protected. And once again, I just kind of like let it brush off my shoulders because I'm like, okay, she's just having a moment. I don't know what she's going through, but she'll get over it, whatever the case may be. I continue to celebrate with Paulie, but you know how you can still feel when like there's an ogre or like a dark cloud like around, like you can feel like, damn, I'm trying to have this real positive uplifting moment, but I can feel this dark ass cloud like just trying to rain on my parade. And she's like still talking about, you know, how Amanda is attached to him, which means that, you know, he's protected by Big Brother. So I can't take it anymore. So I just walk out the room because I don't want to hear the shit anymore. I want to stay on this high that I have, you know, about him coming back into the house. I don't, you know, she's killing my vibe. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. So as I'm walking out the room, Josh is walking past me and I noticed that he was in the hallway while she was talking. So I'm like, oh shit, he probably heard the whole conversation. So now watching the episode back, I see that he did hear the conversation because when he walked in, as you saw from the footage, he kind of like was on eggshells, like trying to introduce himself to her because it's an awkward moment. Like, I just heard you talking shit about my partner in the hallway, so now I gotta come in here and introduce myself to you. So he was just kind of like hesitant. He was like, hi Kara, like I'm Josh. Like you could see it like and hear it in his voice. It was just like, it was so awkward and uncomfortable. But anyway, that happens. Josh is going around the house, mixing and mingling with everyone. And, you know, that's when he starts to realize, hold up, like, Amanda got a lot of damn enemies up in here. Like, what the hell did y'all just do to me? Like, who the hell did y'all just attach me to, right? So then we get to see Georgia and Hunter having a team conversation and they're talking, you know, they're talking about how Ashley took $500K from Hunter and how he feels about that, you know, and how Georgia is sympathetic to how he feels. And, you know, she just wants to let him know, like, I understand that your last partner did this to you, but I wouldn't do that to you because my heart is different. My heart is pure. And, you know, that's just, I don't roll like that. It's basically what Georgia is saying, right? So Hunter lets Georgia know, what was that? So Hunter, it was in my voice. So Hunter lets Georgia know that he isn't good with the politics. He lets her know that the political part of the game is not his thing, his zhuzh, and he lets her know that Wes is his ally, and so Wes will be doing all of the politicking for them. And then we get a flash over to Wes, and he lets us know that he reached out to Hunter, like, yo, let's team up when we get inside the house, because Wes felt like he needed some new and fresh blood on his squad, which is, you know, okay, I get that, you know, because you ain't been here for a minute. You've been on Champs vs. Stars, so now that you're coming back, you want to come back and have some people to come in here with. So I totally understand Wes reaching out to Hunter for that reason. And so now we know that the teams of Georgia and Hunter and Wes and D are now, you know, a solid alliance. So then we get to see the relationship between Turbo and Nany. They're building their partnership up. They're having a conversation. And Nany is just letting Turbo know, like, look, this is why I'm here. I'm here to win. I am competitive. I came to play and I came to win. And Turbo's like, I came here for the same reasons. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to get the job done. And so, you know, basically they were just telling each other, I'm in it to win it. So if you in it to win it, then we in it together. And so it was really good watching them be able to communicate effectively and get on one accord, because the next day we have a challenge coming up, you know. So the top priority tonight should be getting on one accord with your partner, because tomorrow we got work to do. Okay, so now it's the next day. We walk up to our very first challenge with our new allies. You know, all this damn desert and sand everywhere, these big ass sand dunes, just the middle of nowhere, literally, okay? Just there. So we walk up. First thing I see is this big ass green monster truck. And I'm like, are we driving? Is she rolling? Can I get in? I got my license. I'm good to go. You know, I'm amped. I want to put me behind the wheel. Bear, sit in the passenger side. I got us. Put your feet up. Lean your seat back. She got this, right? This is in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to get to drive this thing, right? So as we walk further into the challenge, I then see the other cars, the little, you know, dummy cars. And then in between each of the cars, there's these ropes, right? These green ropes. And then on each side, there are tires for you and your opponent. And so I'm just kind of like, oh, we're about to have to do some work. Like, I'm not going to get to drive. I'm really about to have to do some damn work, right? It's hot. I don't want to pull these ropes, but we already know just by looking at the setup, this is going to be some type of tug of war, right? So we get over to TJ. TJ lets us know that the name of this challenge is going to be Arms Are Getting Tired. corny.com/gov.org.edu, right? So, so TJ explains the rules to us. He lets us know that we're going to be on one side in a tire, and then our opponent is going to be on the other side of the car inside of a tire. We're going to take that big, long-ass 400 feet rope, okay, and we're going to pull it at the same time, right? Pull as much as you can. Eventually, we're going to get to a standstill where we're going to have to, you know, basically have a tug-of-war. And so this challenge is supposed to go on for 5 minutes, and at the end of that 5 minutes, TJ is going to come through with the monster truck, and he's going to smash the cars, which will hold our ropes in place. So how it works is, let's say my length of my rope will be measured and added to the length of Bear's rope, and then our two measurements together will be our grand total as a team. And so the three teams who have the longest measurement will be in the top three, and that will make up the tribunal, right? TJ lets us know this. Immediately, I'm like, tribunal sounds like troika. Sounds like we're going to be picking people to put into elimination. Sounds like I need to throw this challenge, because the last thing I need to do is get any blood on my hands this early in the game, right? TJ also lets us know that those rankings that we got earlier in the game, those are going to count today in regards to how we pick the order in which we pick our opponents, right? So Paulie gets to go first, and then I get to go second. Paulie goes, and of course he picks Kyle because duh. And then I go, and the reason I picked Jenna and Gus is because I know Jenna works out, and I know Jenna is probably really good at this shit, and I know Jenna probably can really beat me, but I also know that if I pick her, I can say face in front of my partner and be like, oh, you know, it's an easy matchup, blah, 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 whatever I said about us being the same height, same weight, whatever. That was great, and that was a great excuse to stay in front of Bear, because the reality is I'm depending on Jenna to beat us because I don't want to be in the tribunal. I mean, me and Bear are in a really good position right now. I mean, he's great with the UK people. I'm great with the Big Brother people, and as it stands right now, we make up the majority of the house. So there's no reason for he and I to get blood on our hands for what? We can pretty much coast through if we play this thing the right way. There's no need to start making enemies, and we damn sure aren't going to throw any of our friends as burn votes into eliminations. So let's just, hey, let's throw this damn thing and keep on doing what the hell we doing. No blood, no nothing. You know, if one of our friends, 9 times out of 10, one of our allies are going to end up in the tribunal, which means we're going to be safe anyway. And what's the odds of somebody picking us with our social game being what it is? Because to be honest, me and Bear had the best social game at this point in the house. Say what you want to say about him being loud. Say what you want to say about me being loud. The truth of the matter is we were playing the best social game at this point in the game, okay? So it was no need to win this challenge. So now all of the teams have picked their opponents, and TJ blows the horn. It's time for the first heat. Everybody starts pulling their ropes, right? If you look at the footage, you can see on my face and in my body language, ain't a lick of try in my system. I was not trying to win this thing at all, by no stretch of the imagination, right? So on the ropes, in like dead smack in the center of the ropes, there's this black tape, right? That lets production know where the halfway mark of the rope is. So once I see that that black tape is going over towards genocide, I stop. I'm like, oh, cool. She over half. So I can just chill now. So I sit on the rope and I grab a piece in my hand and I put a look on my face as if I'm trying to pull. And this is only to save face in front of Bear. Like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm trying, partner. I'm trying. He's like, you're doing good. You're doing good. And I feel bad because he really is trying, like, you know, and I don't blame him. This is his first season, and, you know, we know how it feels. Last season, shit, I knew how I felt. I was trying to win every damn thing. I didn't, but I was trying to, you know what I mean? So I know that if we won this challenge, it would mean the world to him, but I can't think about, you know, egos and stuff right now. I can't think about, oh, let's, you know, cater to our ego and, you know, put a gold sticker on our pride and win this challenge. Like, I can't do that. I have to think long term, and long term is we don't need to win this challenge because we're in a really good position, right? So everyone is pulling, doing what they're doing. You know, we sit there for that 5 minutes. The 5 minutes come, TJ blows the horn, the monster truck comes down, crushes all the cars, and that is the end of the first heat. Now we are going into the second heat. Boom, the teams are going. They pulling, they tugging, whoopty, whoopty, whoop. Now, what I did before it started is I go over to Josh and Amanda, and I'm like, look, this is what I noticed from our round. You know what I'm saying? Going first is kind of a pro when you're with a group of people, but it sucks when you're by yourself. It's definitely a con when you're by yourself, but when you're with a group of people and your allies are in the second heat, then you can kind of like go back and tell your allies, okay, look, this is what I noticed and this might help you so you can be able to do this, that, and the third, right? So I go and I let Josh and them know, like, look, y'all can do this. This will help you get it done, blah, 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 blah. I knew that it would be okay for Josh and Amanda to be in the tribunal because we already knew that there was going to be a constant back and forth between Zach and Amanda. So if Josh and Amanda get thrown into the tribunal, then they're going to pick Zach and Zahida, and nobody else from the UK is going to vote in Zahida and Zach. So we knew that probably wasn't going to happen anyway. So it was just like, it was okay for them to be in a tribunal. Basically, I knew that their vote wouldn't really count anyway. So it was like, just go ahead and put them in there. You know, hindsight 2020, Josh's vote did kind of seal the deal. But, you know, at that time, we didn't know it was going to be individual votes. We thought that they were voting as a team. And as a team, I just putting 2 and 2 together. I was like, if they get in there, their vote probably isn't going to count anyway, right? So, boom. I let them know, like, look, try this, try whatever you got to try, like, just get it done. And I saw the fire in Josh's eyes. So I already knew that he was ready, set. He was just waiting on TJ to say go. You feel what I'm saying? So TJ blows the horn, and to my surprise, Josh is pulling this damn thing out. And I'm shocked. I am shocked because, you know, that is my baby. That is my brother. I love him. I promise I do. But when Nany picked them and I knew Josh was going up against Turbo, I was like, ooh, child. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to pull this out. You know, this ain't just somebody. This Turbo ass, like big ass arms, guns, pow, boom, boom, pow, pow. Like, this is Turbo. So I didn't think that Josh, you know, whew, he proved me wrong. You proved me wrong, Josh. You did that. So he's pulling. And then when I see the little black tape that I was telling you guys about on the rope, when I see it coming out the car window on Josh's side, yo, that's when you guys heard me scream out, you stay still. You bet not move. Stay right where you bet not move. Because I'm like, you really just did that. You know what I'm saying? So I was definitely the most surprised by Josh. Like, he came in like, I'm not going back out. You feel what I'm saying? Look, this is why I got cast. This is what I came to do. So I was really, 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 really proud of him. So the 5 minutes passes and TJ blows the horn. Then he comes through with the monster truck. He crushes the cars, and now all of the ropes are measured. All of the team's measurements are tallied up. And now we have our tribunal, which is made up of Cara and Theo, Bananas and Morgan, and Josh and Amanda. Now, for me, looking at these three teams, we got Cara, who I feel I'm aligned with, you know, so that's no problem for me. Then there's also Theo, who my partner is aligned with, so there's no problem. I'm attached to Bananas and Morgan because I'm working with both of them, so there's no problem there. And then Josh and Amanda, that's my, you know, #1 team right there. So that's not a problem for me either. So piece of cake, piece of pie. We good. Like, there's no worries, right? TJ then lets us know that the tribunal will be responsible for picking 3 teams to be nominated for elimination. Those 3 teams will then have an opportunity at the tribunal ceremony to plead their case to the tribunal as to why they should not be the team to be voted down into elimination. I feel like Nemo. But anyway, they get to plead their case to the tribunal. You know, this is why I should not be the team, or we should not be the team to have to go down into eliminations, right? So now it's time for nominations. You know, the teams go up there and Johnny basically bamboozles, hoodwinks, swindles the fuck out of Amanda, right? And it was so hard to watch that on the show because I'm like, damn, sis, did you really just go out like that? Like, it took no effort. I was so mad watching it. So mad at Amanda watching that. But, damn, no effort. But Johnny throws it out there on the table. Which 2 teams are completely off limits for you guys? And Amanda is the first one to speak up. So she says Ashley and Hunter. And it was almost like she walks right into his little trap. And I'm watching it at home like, sis, no, like, don't let them talk first. Like, don't you talk. So she throws it out there and she's like, Hunter and Ashley. And so immediately Johnny jumps on that. He looks over at Cara and he's like, okay, cool. Those are the teams we'll pick. And that will force her to have to pick a 3rd person to go in, right? But we can already tell by the way it happened, that was already like premeditated, like that was pre-planned. So they were going to pick those 2 teams regardless. So now Amanda is pissed, right? She's livid because her, you know, 2 allies, those 2 teams are now on the table. So she's just like, what the, you know, she's pissed because she's pissed. So ultimately she's pissed because she got played. Like, she's pissed in this moment because she got played. So after that, she does what, you know, we already knew she was going to do. She goes over to the board and she picks Zahida and Zach. And she's like, you know, Zach's coming for me anyway, so it only makes sense. And, you know, that's no extra blood on her hands. Like, that blood been there. Been there since last season. It ain't coming off for a while. So we already knew that this was going to happen. So the 3 teams are now picked. The tribunal nominations are over. And it is time for us to come upstairs and see which 3 teams are picked. Now, how this works is the tribunal comes downstairs. And then we go upstairs. All of the teams are on this board, but the 3 teams that were chosen to be nominated for eliminations, those 3 teams are not on the board, right? So when you go up there, you're looking for your name. When you see your name, oh, okay, cool. I'm back downstairs. That's what I did. I went upstairs. I saw Davon and Bear. I went right on back downstairs. I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need to be up here. I don't need no TV time. The camera don't need to be on me. I don't need to make no statements. I don't need to say nothing. Me and Bear, we good. All right, I'm out. And I went on back about my business. Like, I went on and finished doing what I was doing. But the 3 teams that were missing were Hunter and Georgia, Zach and Zahida, and Ashley and Chase. So now they're all preparing themselves to go into the tribunal ceremony. So now we get into the tribunal ceremony, right? And this, I hate the setup for the tribunal ceremony because, you know, the 3 teams that won, they're up on this platform where they're basically looking down on the people that are coming in to be interrogated. And it seems like the people who were on that platform that won, that power, it gets to their heads. And you'll see it as the season progresses. It's like, oh, you really like standing up there and looking down and tuning up your nose on who's down here. Like, you really enjoy this. That's a problem. I'm telling you, I am a firm believer. Give a person a little bit of power and you'll see who they truly are. And this season, you're going to see who a lot of folks are. But anyway, back to this episode, okay? So we're in the tribunal ceremony, and the first team to come in is Ashley and Chase. They come in, you know, they plead their case to the tribunal, basically saying that, you know, Georgia and Hunter are a better pick to go into elimination, and that Ashley and Chase should be basically saved from having to go down. So then Georgia and Hunter comes in, you know, Hunter is using the this is a new season, I don't have my people here with me. All of that happened last season, and Johnny is just like, yeah, but he's like, you've been here, you know how this game works. The shit that you do from previous seasons, you know, it travels with you into future seasons, right? And so Hunter was like, but that didn't have anything to do with me. And Johnny is like, but your TYB buddies were doing this and doing that. And Hunter was like, I tried to stop them. And Johnny was just like, hey, guilty by association. You are who you hang around, right? Now it's time for Zach and Zahida to come in and plead their case to the tribunal, which was actually a big ass joke. Like, as soon as they walked in, you could tell the look on Zach's face, his demeanor, his everything, his entire disposition, like everything. He knew he was safe and he knew he wasn't going in. Why would, you know, Cara throw him in? Why would Johnny throw him in? Like, there was no reason, right? So, and then Zahida's attached to Theo. So, you know, what reason was there to do that? So he kind of came in and it was just like a big joke. You know what I'm saying? It was very safe for him. He knew coming in, I'm just going to stand here. You guys talk and then we're going to be out because we're not going in. So that's how that went. And then that was the end of the tribunal ceremony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the producers have given the cast liquor. Everybody is throwing them back. And now the drinks are involved. People are drunk. The shit show begins. Okay? So Turbo, Wes, JP, and Hunter are all upstairs in the game room having a conversation. You know, they're having an alliance meeting. Okay? Seems like a lot of the boys from that back room are in an alliance. Now, there were 2 sides as far as the back room goes, right? So in the big back room that you guys saw me and Johnny fighting over, it was Johnny, CT, Leroy, Kyle, Zach, Gus, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. They were in that room. And then on the other side in the back room, you had Josh, Wes, Hunter, JP, Bear, Theo, Ash, and Turbo, right? Am I forgetting somebody? No, I think that's all the boys. Yeah, because Paulie was in the room with Cara. So, yeah, I think that's all the boys. So that's how the rooms were divided, right, amongst the boys. And that kind of let you know where the teams were. I mean, where the alliances were. You kind of had CT over here with these guys, but I do feel like he was floating back and forth, you know, and I feel like that'll be shown as the episode progresses. I do feel like he was floating back and forth. Well, I mean, you've already seen it in episode 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, I feel like CT was floating back and forth, and then I also feel like, oh, Chase was in that back room with Johnny and them too. Yeah, Chase was back there. Woo, and Gus was in that room as well, but I've always felt like, you know, Gus was, I used to call him an informant for Hunter. So I feel like Gus strategically planted himself in that room with Johnny and them so that he could kind of like hear information and hear what they were talking about and run it back over to Hunter. That was my gut feeling about Gus. I could be wrong. We'll see as the episodes progress, but that was my feeling about Gus. Anyway, so Turbo West, JP, Hunter upstairs having, you know, an alliance meeting, and, you know, West throws it out there to Hunter. If you go in, go ahead and pick Leroy. You know, that's the easiest way to throw a jab at Johnny. And so Hunter is like, yeah, if I can't get to Johnny, then I'm going to go for his best friend. The next best thing, I'm going to go after Leroy. Now, they up there talking shit, okay? Talking all this shit, not knowing Leroy's downstairs listening to everything. Like, he hears the entire conversation, right? So now he pacing back and forth through the hallways like a crazy man. I don't know why the camera... why the camera was watching him walk back and forth looking crazy, but he's hearing this conversation, and so now he's like, you know, what are you coming after me for? What are you coming after Johnny for? You have Ashley in here, and she just like stole $500,000, pow, right out of your pocket, and you worried about Johnny. Like, get your priorities in order, right? So, you know, Leroy's pissed at this point, you know. He got to get this shit up off his chest, especially with the knowledge that he has now, knowing that Hunter is going to be coming for him. So now the cameras go over to the Amanda and Morgan conversation, right? Amanda goes up to Morgan, and she's like, basically telling Morgan, you're Johnny's shadow. You need to have your own voice, make up your own mind, have your own opinion, say who you want to vote for, put your foot down. You know, don't let Johnny just run you because he'll try to. And, you know, she was just telling her all type of stuff about how, you know, Morgan needs to be independent in this game and don't let Johnny just overpower her because he's a vet, right? And so Morgan is talking back to her, and Morgan's like, you know, I am gonna have my own voice, but in this case, I do agree with Johnny because Hunter is going to be coming for Johnny, and since Johnny is attached to me, ultimately Hunter is going to be gunning for me. So right now, this is the best thing for our team because it works for Johnny, and it also works for me because we are now one, right? So Amanda is still trying to put it into her head like, no, you might need to try something else. What I think Amanda was trying to do, and I might be wrong, but I think she was trying to convince Morgan to try to flip this thing and have them to throw a vote at Johnny. And that was not as much of a stretch as you guys think it is because, oh, well, why would he vote? Why would he vote for Zach when that's his boy? Now, I know in the next episode, we're going to see, you know, Zach throw the ball to West, but before that, you know, there was still that paranoia, and we could see it with Johnny. It was that little paranoia because we would see Zach with Wes, and no one ever said it out loud. It was just like a mutual, sketch. You know what I'm saying? Across the board. It was just like, that's sketch. So that situation was kind of happening, but nobody ever said it out loud because, again, the house will make you paranoid, and the last thing you want to do is act off of paranoia. You need facts. You know what I'm saying? So nobody ever said it out loud, but we're drunk. There's liquor involved, and Amanda is trying to work whatever magic she has to make sure her friends don't get thrown into the elimination. That's why, you say what you want to say about her. She's loyal. She is loyal. She will fight tooth and nail to protect the people that she is loyal to, okay? She's literally throwing herself in because she know Johnny is about to come for her. If she messing with his partner, she don't give a shit. She's trying to protect her friend. She's loyal. She's loyal. Okay, so so Johnny overhears this conversation happening, and Johnny's like, you know, she's messing with my partner. So let me shut this shit down real quick before she actually is successful, and she's able to leave some type of impression on Morgan. So he asks Cara, you know, let me see your shirt, your Not Today Satan shirt, right? Cara gives him her shirt. He goes outside and he begins to perform an exorcism on Amanda because they call her the devil or Satan or whatever. So he performs an exorcism with two hangers. He forms them into a cross, and he's doing that or whatever. And Amanda's like, whatever. Cara, of course, in the background is throwing water, and then Johnny takes the bottle away from her, and then he's throwing water on Amanda, and Amanda's like, oh, that feels good because it was hot. So Amanda's like, oh, that feels good, keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? She's not really bothered by the exorcism. She's not bothered by it. She's just like, whatever, I'm still if you watch the clip, you see he's doing the thing, and she'll like have a couple words with him, and then she'll go right back to Morgan because she's got work to do. She has a task at hand, and the task is to try to get Morgan to change her mind. Like, yeah, that's cool, do your little exorcism, but I still have a job to do. The girl's good, okay? So that happens there. And then Nany jumps in. Now, I was not out there for the exorcism. I was not out there for Nany jumping in. And the only reason I wasn't out there was because I was in the back trying to calm down Josh. Anytime Amanda speaks above a level 3 in volume, Josh would start to panic. Why is she doing that, Davon? Oh my gosh, Dave, can you go get her? Dave, go make her go to sleep. Davon, go get her and put her in the bed. Davon, like, Davon. Like, he would panic, right? So I'm trying to calm him down, like, let her work. She knows what she's doing. She's been here in enough seasons. Just let her do her work. This is her thing. Like, let her do her. You go work your social game and do whatever it is that you need to do. Everybody is drinking. Everybody's drunk. Like, you don't have to drink. You don't have to be drunk. Just go socialize. You know, let her do, she's okay. Let her do her thing, right? Now, the episode aired this whole altercation with Johnny and Hunter and Leroy out of sequence. And I say that because the first thing you see, like, you'll see Amanda and Morgan going at it. And then you see the exorcism, and then you see Nany jump up and start yelling, and then you see this weird ass clip cut edit to Johnny in Hunter's face yelling, right? But that's not how that went down. So I was in there calming down Josh, and the next thing I know, I hear Leroy going at it, right? So I go into the living room to go see what the hell he yelling about. And that's when all the commotion is going on with him and Hunter and how he's saying, you know, she took $500,000 from you. You worried about this man, but she just did this and she just did that. Right? Going in about Ashley. And so, you know, I'm seeing people trying to grab Leroy and pull him back. And he like, let me go. When I hear somebody say that, I don't get involved. I sit back. I don't need to be in the scene. I don't need no camera time. I don't need none of that. Let me just watch from a safe distance. I see Amanda is good. I see Josh is good. Cam, she's solid because it's Leroy. He ain't finna do nothing to her. So I ain't got nothing to worry about. But Bear's ass is trying to get involved because now it looks like they're ganging up on Hunter. And so Bear is trying to interject and just be like, hey, you know, trying to let Hunter know that he's not alone. I got your back. I'm by your side. And I'm like, hell, get your ass back. This ain't got nothing to do with us. You come with me. I understand. You trying to have a heart, you know, and it was really bothering Bear because Bear was like, you know, well, he's in there by himself. Nobody's in there with him. Where's Wes? That's supposed to be his man. Like, where's Wes? You know what I'm saying? And Wes was not in there, like, sticking up for him or nothing like that. So Bear wanted to stand next to Hunter like, hey, I got you, but that ain't our business. Get your ass over here, okay? So I started pulling Bear back at that point. Bear back, okay. I had started pulling Steven out of that situation. So I was pulling him towards me. And so then, that got real high. That escalated to a whole nother level. Hunter started taking his shirt off. And, you know, Leroy ain't about to fight. Let me tell you something. Leroy ain't about to compromise that check, okay? So you can take your shirt off. You can do whatever you want. Notice that Hunter was at 120, okay? And Leroy was still at a good 45%, right? So he just looked at Shailene. He like, look, we might go in. So you ready? Shailene like, I'm ready. He like, all right, well, let's do it then, you know? And that really was it. I went and talked to Leroy afterwards, you know, because I made sure the cameras wasn't around because I just went to, and people wasn't around. I'm just like, hey, you know, you good? He like, I'm great. That's all I needed to know. I went on about my business, right? So Hunter is outside This is when he's standing up against that gate. He's outside, and then Johnny comes over to say something to him. And when Johnny comes over to say something to him, they start getting loud. And that's when I see Bear trying to cha-cha slide his ass over to stand next to Hunter. And that's when y'all see me go up and I grab Bear, and I'm standing on next to him, and I'm moving him out of the way. And he kept saying, it's good, it's good. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't think you're going to fight. And I don't think you're going to argue, because if you do, that compromises my check. And then me and you got a problem, right? So what I did, if you look at the clip, I just stand in front of him. I stand in front of him. He don't walk around me. He just chilling, like watching the scenery. Like, let me tell you something. Bear is smart. He is smart as hell. Like, I observed things. He sat back and observed and broke down that, like, me and him had a team talk later on that night, right? And he broke down that whole situation to me, of which I had already saw for myself. But to hear it come out of somebody else's mind, to come out of somebody else's mouth, I was like, damn, your mind and my mind was working. Here I thought you was on some other shit trying to compromise our position in this game, when in reality, you playing right now. Like, you playing this game right now, right? So he broke it down. Like, if you notice, you know, Johnny is over here, and then you see how these people grouped up over here next to Johnny. Then you got Hunter over here, and you see what people grouped up on the side away from Hunter. And then you see where this group of people stood, and you see where that group of people stood. I said, so this whole time you were watching to see where everybody was standing while this was breaking out. Like, you were watching to see everyone play their positions accordingly. And I'm like, dude, like, oh, this is why we are together. This is why we are together, because it was so telling. You feel what I'm saying? You could see who was with their friends, who was with their allies, who broke off from who was being fake. Like, you could see, like, the division was so clear. Like, if you stopped and just stopped listening to all the arguing and the yelling and the fussing and the fighting, and you just watched everyone like go naturally into their little groups, oh my gosh, the click shit was ridiculous. So anyway, that popped off, and then we see Amanda outside with Wes, Hunter, and somebody else was out there. I don't remember who was out there. And they're outside talking, and Amanda was like, I'm going back into the house, and I'm going to talk shit to defend you, and I'm going to do it by myself, because that's how I roll, by myself. She comes back into the house, right? And I think this was around the time when I was talking to Leroy. Not sure. I'm not sure, but I think so. She comes back into the house, and from what we see on the episode, Jenna tells her to shut the fuck up. I don't know what would prompt Jenna to say that. I don't see Jenna just randomly saying, Amanda, shut the fuck up. Like, Jenna just she doesn't come across to me as a pop-off type person like that. Like, that's some weird shit I would do. That's some weird shit that I would do. Like, I don't see Jenna do, you know, I see something provoking that. I don't know what provoked that, because I was not in the room. You know, I saw on social media something about, they said Amanda came in and said, get the fuck out of my way. I don't know if that Amanda might have did that. Amanda might have done that. That sounds like an Amanda thing to do. But again, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But we clearly see on the episode, Jenna tells Amanda to shut the fuck up. And then Amanda's like, I'm not even coming for you, so I don't understand why you even have anything to say. You might as well go and sit your little ass down somewhere, because I'm not really worried about you. So then the next thing we see is Amanda walking away, and Jenna is following behind her. And so I'm still not around for any of this. This is just what I see from the episode. But now they're inside of the gym. And I do remember walking into the hallway and seeing Jenna, Nany, Natalie, Cara, and Amanda all in the gym together. And I'm like, I know these girls don't like her, so let me get my ass on in this gym. Not to get involved, because I don't want to be involved in the drama, but I don't want them in there just like talking a bunch of shit to her and she's by herself. I done did the bear thing, right? Now I'm doing the bear thing. Oh, look at that. Bad day, fine. But it was just, it was a lot of, you know, I just did the bear thing. Damn. I just did the very same thing I tried to get on bear for doing. Whew. Okay. See, it's a good thing when you can check yourself, right? Right? It's a good thing when you can check yourself. So I went in there just to make sure she was good. Like, I didn't want all of those girls ganging up on her. Like, I didn't want that at all. Damn, that's crazy. So, what happened? Oh, So Amanda and Jenna are going at it or whatever. And then Jenna brings up the bomb. Like, you were supposed to drop this big bomb at the reunion. What's the bomb? What's the bomb? And so Amanda yells out, well, Zach was on Bumble last season when we got eliminated in South Africa. He was at the hotel and he was on Bumble, right? So let me talk about this Bumble thing because it happened in my room. So let's talk about that real quick. So last season, after we were all eliminated from Final Reckoning, me, Zach, Amanda, and Jose, we get back to the hotel and they give us our phones back. Now, when you get your phones back, of course, the first thing you do is turn it on and you try to reach out to anybody from civilization, okay? Anybody, because you just want to talk to somebody from home. So I, of course, called my mom so I could talk to Cadence. Amanda was calling her family so she can get in contact with her dad. Jose was checking work emails, and then Zach pulls up Bumble, and that was a little weird, but again, ain't none of my business, so I really didn't say too much about it. I just was kind of like, oh, okay. So I went on and finished doing what I was doing. So then he was like, look who's on Bumble, y'all. He told us one of the producers was on, and he's like, blah, blah, blah is on Bumble, and then he shows us, and you know, we all like shared a laugh, and then that was it. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't see him do anything else. I wasn't really paying him any attention after that. I was trying to talk to my child, so I wasn't really worried about what he had going on in his phone. So later on, when Jenna came up to me and she was like, Dianne, can you tell me about this whole Bumble thing? Like, what, the girl had tears in her eyes. Like, you can tell that, you know, trust is something that they're working on, because she was really, like, sis was messed up about the whole situation, right? So she came to me and, you know, she's like, Dianne, you know, what happened? You know, can you tell me about it? And so I told her exactly what I told you guys, because that's what I saw. All I saw was what he said about, oh, the person being on social media. I mean, being on Bumble. And then that literally was all that I saw. So if there was any more to it, I have no knowledge of it. I can only speak on what I saw. And that's all I saw. Like I said, it was nothing crazy. It was just that. So from my point of view and from what my eyes saw, that is my version of the Bumble thing. Okay. So now fast forward and come back to present tense, right? And so, Amanda's yelling out, you know, Zach is on Bumble. Zach was on Bumble, blah, 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 blah. He showed all of us, ask Dianne. And when she said that, I'm standing there and I'm very aware of what she's talking about, but I'm like, damn, now I gotta be involved. Zach looking at me, I'm looking at him, Jenna looking at me, Amanda looking at me. I'm like, I just want to go in my room and mind my damn business, take my ass to sleep, because this ain't got nothing to do with me, she, her, I, none of us want to take part in what's going on right now. So with all this going on, I do make sure to let Jenna know, like, Amanda was not lying. This did actually happen, but this is what I saw. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't want anybody thinking that Amanda was being a liar, because she told the truth. See, that's the thing. She told the truth. It's just the way she said it left for a cliffhanger for you to put whatever assumptions and whatever you want to put on it. But that's on you. However you spin it is on you, but she did give you the truth, okay? So that's how that played out. Jenna goes and she confronts Zach about it, and I don't know how, but somehow he flipped the script and flipped the shit over onto Jenna. Now she's crying, and she's like, oh, so we're gonna break up? We're done? Are we over? Are you walking away? And then, like, the next thing we know, if you pay attention to the time change, it's now daytime and they outside. She's still crying and she's like, so are we done? And he like, we're breaking up, we're over. And I'm like, this is the next day and y'all still on this shit. This is a whole new morning. Like, it's a new day in Africa and we're still on this. Like, this literally went all night into the next day. So that's what happened with them. And now it's time. You know, whether y'all break up or not, whether Amanda was there with the Bumble shit or not, whatever happened last night does not matter. Today, somebody is going home. So we walk up and TJ lets us know that this is the killing floor. So this is where all of the eliminations are going to be happening this season. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, whoo, we ain't no carnival games going to be getting played up in here. Okay, all of these eliminations are going to be fight to the death. okay? Physical hands-on contact is what's going to be going down up in here, okay? So now it's time for the tribunal to vote for somebody to go down onto the killing floor and pick somebody to go up against, right? So TJ lets the tribunal know that they're going to be voting as individuals, right? So everybody has their own individual vote. So everyone goes down and they place their votes. Amanda, she votes for Zach and Zahida. She keeps her vote the same. Johnny votes for Hunter and Georgia. Morgan goes with that. She sticks with the plan. She votes for Hunter and Georgia. Cara, she votes for Ashley and Chase. Theo does the same. He votes for Ashley and Chase, and now it's down to Josh. Josh decides to vote for Georgia and Hunter as well. Now, let me tell you why. We were also working with Johnny, but you know, Johnny don't really trust. You got to prove to Johnny, like, look, you can trust me. I got you, before he actually be like, okay, cool, I got you too. Okay. So in order to prove to Johnny, like, look, I'm with you, like, I'm good. We all team Big Brother. We all gonna protect each other and look out for each other. I'm gonna do this solid for you, like, just to let you know. So that was the purpose of that vote. I think I'm right. I think that's what Josh told me. I think that's what he said. Yeah, that was the purpose of that vote. That's why he decided to do that like that. And I know Amanda was upset because her partner went against her and they didn't vote the same way, but he had to do what he had to do because that also put protection on Amanda. You feel what I'm saying? It's no secret. Johnny would have tried to get Amanda out of here, but now Josh has shown him, like, look, we're with you, so leave her alone, which means leave me alone, because they're now a team, so it's us, you know, so leave us alone, you know what I mean? So it was a move that wasn't for just a moment. That move was supposed to be a longevity type of decision, a decision that was supposed to, you know, help make some moves later on in the game, you know? So that's why he did what he did. So the majority of the votes went to Hunter and Georgia, which sent them down to the killing floor, right? Now, what y'all did not see is when they first went down there, they went off to the side to deliberate, you know, and discuss amongst themselves who they were going to call down to go up against, right? Hunter tried to convince Georgia to pick me and Bear. He wanted to call out me and Bear, right? And I'm like, so what happened to calling out Leroy? What happened? What changed your minds? Like, what, now you want to come for me and Bear? What's up? But of course, Georgia wasn't having it because, you know, Georgia and Bear were messing around. So Georgia was like, no, that's out. So she shut that down. So then next in line, I guess, was Ashley and Chase. So that's when Hunter called down Ashley. But that wasn't his first choice. Day and Bear was on the line. He was finna come for Team Dab. And I'm just like, whoo. But the one thing I will say, though, I do appreciate, the only reason I know that is because he came and told me himself. He came, he pulled me to the side. He said, hey, Devon, I want to let you know, oh, this is important too for later on. So hold on to this. He came up to me and he was like, you know, Devon, I want to let you know I was going to call down you and Bear tonight, but Georgia decided that wouldn't be a good idea. But I wanted to be the one to come and tell you. I don't want you seeing it later on TV. I want you to find out from me. And so while I appreciated him coming to tell me, it was like, cool, mental note. You feel what I'm saying? Like, ooh, got it, locked. You know what I mean? So that's how that started off. Anyway, ultimately, they ended up picking Ashley and Chase. Ashley and Chase come down to the killing floor, and then they began to do their elimination. So this elimination is called drone ball drop. And how it works is each person is going to stand at their little bin, and there's a drone in the sky, and it's going to drop a ball down onto the killing floor. Once it drops that ball onto the killing floor, you're going to run, get the ball, and then run it back to your bin, which gives you a point. The first team to get 2 points wins, and they don't have to go home, right? So the first round happens. Oh, there's a girls' heat and then there's a guys' heat, right? So Ashley wins the first round and she wins it fairly fast, right? This lit a fire under Georgia because she realizes, hold on, like, I need to get it together, right? So now we're going into the second round, right? And Hunter is going back and forth with Chase, but ultimately he's the one that ends up with the win. So now we're going into this final round. And Hunter is really depending on Georgia to pull this thing out because Ashley just took $500,000 away from him in the last season. So the last thing you want to do is lose $500,000, then turn around and come into a new season right after that and be the first one sent home by the same person that just stole your money. Like, don't nobody want that. That's not a label nobody wants to walk around wearing. We don't want that title, right? So he's telling Georgia, like, look, she stole from my family. She stole from my sister. She stole from me. She's just a thief, thieves across the board is what he's saying. And so Georgia is getting into her head. And then ultimately she ends up pulling out the win. And her story was so victorious because what they did not show is Georgia and Ashley were down there on that killing floor. They were fighting. And I mean, it got physical. They were fighting. At one point, Ashley was choking Georgia. And I'm like, get off of her. Get off of her. Like, they're fighting. And Georgia's like, I can't breathe. So then Georgia, like, sucked it up. They going back at it. Georgia starts choking her now. And so Ashley's like, I can't breathe. That's not fair. Time out. I can't breathe. And Georgia's like, well, bitch, I couldn't breathe last time. So now we even. So it's just like, that was funny. I don't know why they didn't air that because that was hilarious. But, you know, we just got to see this fire under Georgia that was just, oh my gosh. Like, it just, like that had to happen. She needed to go head to head with Ashley as the first person that she goes head to head with, because that let her know how intense this game can be, and that prepared her for whatever was to come later on in the season. You feel what I'm saying? Now she knows, whoa, this ain't no cakewalk. This right here, this is going to be intense. So, you know, it worked out in Georgia and Hunter's favor. They won, and then we were introduced to the relic, right? So that was a really good episode. I really enjoyed watching it. It was really good to see. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. You know, it sucks seeing Ashley leave because, you know, we were starting to get to know each other. Even though she was only there for a week, we were still getting to know each other. She left me a really cute note before she left. I'm going to insert the note here so you guys can see it. It was really nice. Short, but it was still really nice. It's the thought that counts. The fact that she even thought enough to write me a note before leaving really meant a lot to me. So that's that for that. I guess I'll start recording this episode 3 recap so I can get this out before episode 4 airs. So with that being said, I love you guys, and if you like this video, make sure you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.